Harrowing tales of farmers trekking kilometers to National Cereals and Produce Board stores to collect fertilizers after receiving SMS about the same, only to be greeted by empty stores, really exposes the rot in an ambitious program that was touted as a game changer in boosting the national food basket. Who is this powerful farmer taking the subsidized fertilizer? And if not, the farmers are saying while they are in the queue, there are lorries that are ferrying fertilizers from those stores. And so, where are these ghost stores that are taking fertilizers from the NCBA? But if you think the situation is better, do you know in this country, some packed soil was sold to fertilizers, to farmers as fertilizers? Welcome to The Bold. And in this podcast, I want us to tell the tales of Wanjiko struggling to get the fertilizer. Let's unpack the truth, the situation, and the real problem in this. My name is Kevin Oduor. This is Nakuru NCPB stores. A farmer receives a message that tomorrow in X date, come and collect your fertilizer. This is normally the model of distribution because they were registered and their data stored digitally. The next morning, when they go to that store in Nakuru, they're told the store is empty, and then they're reduced to a verbal exchange with the officers who are even more arrogant and entitled. The officers who do not even seem to have responses or answers to these elderly members of the society. These are typically small-scale traders that President Ruto keeps on addressing in the rallies. Listen to this.
Hii ni siku ya pili na sijapata fertilizer. Tunaambiwa tugoje. Na tunaona wengine wanatoka na fertilizer, magari inatoka na fertilizer na sisi hatupati. Mtu anatumia fare na hatupati fertilizer, na hii mvua inaelekea kunyesha. Tulikuwa tumehangaika kama wiki mbili hivi. Tunaona fertilizer ikitoka na hatupati.
Glass kutoka Egerton. Ndifika hapa 6:30 na kutoka hiyo masaa fertilizer inaendelea kutoka, ilianza kutoka saa 2 na inatoka na wenye wako na magari na matuktuk. Lakini watu wa fertilizer kidogo hatuoni, na mara mwisho tumeambiwa tuende Ruto ndio aturudishie fare yenye tulitumia kukuja hapa.
So that is Nakuru. Those are people that have gone to, and Nakuru serves even Narok, part of the Mau Narok. They've gone to search, there is no way. And you can listen to that Mamai saying, he's being told, when he's saying that I've spent money to trek here, he's being told, call Ruto to repay back your money. I wish someone will send this to the president. It's very pathetic. I want us to look at Trans Nzoia. Trans Nzoia County is the bedrock of maize farming in this country. This is the county that produces nearly 40% of maize that is produced locally for the consumption of the country. Here, another tale of farmers saying they cannot see, they cannot find the fertilizer.
Sisi wakulima wadogo hatujafaidika, tunanyanyaswa. Kama sasa hapo ukiingia utapata makateli ndio wanabeba marori kubwa wakienda, lakini sisi wale wakulima wadogo hatuna sauti. So swali yangu ni kwamba serikali mko upande gani? Wakati mnakuja kwa wananchi mnasema kwamba tusaidiane. Sasa hii hakuna kusaidiana. Kama kwa hiyo ofisi ninaona tu ni makateli wale wakubwa. Sasa hizi marori zinaenda.
Mbolea inaletwa inagawiwa makateli. Sisi wakulima hatupati. Wanadanganya ati wanapewa wale viwete walemavu ndio wanapata mbolea, na si walemavu ni wa makateli.
Serikali inaleta mbolea kama dawa ile yenye nina meza. Wasilete mbolea. Kwa maana sisi tuko wengi wakulima hapa, tunataka mulete dawa kwa wingi. Inakuja ni kama tone kwa bahari.
Hata last year tulizunguka hapa wakulima wengi hatukupata mbolea, ikiwa mimi ni mmoja wao. Hii ni wiki ya 3 nakuja Sirio hapa kila siku. Na the same story, unaambiwa kuwa mbolea ni kidogo, mbolea itakuja.
Si mtuletee mbolea jameni. Sababu sisi tunateseka. Mimi nalipa transport kutoka penye natoka shilingi 500 mpaka hapa. Kufika mahali hapa hakuna mbolea. Wananiambia kuja kesho. Tumetembea, mimi karatasi yangu ndio hii. Ndio hii imerarukia kwa barabara. Hakuna mbolea. Mvua inaninyeshea. Hata kichwa ya kitambulisho imevutika. Hapa Trans-Nzoia hao watu ndio wakulima Kenya mzima. Hatulimi ngano, hatulimi kahawa, tunalima mahindi na maharagwe.
And remember, you know, in this country, fertilizer is exported from 3 countries. Ukraine, Russia, majorly Ukraine, Russia, and Morocco. And last year, we were given subsidized fertilizer. And even this year, we were given fertilizer, free fertilizer from Russia, even though arrives here at a very low subsidy. Then what we do here is just packaging and sorting. Then, just recently, someone went to Kariandusi and allegedly came, you know, Kariandusi is where mining of slow spice done. He comes out and tells farmers that he has got phosphate fertilizer. And in an expose that was done by I think John Allan Namu team, they actually exposed how someone simply packaged soil and sold to the farmers. So guys, we are in a big problem, and that is why I believe that President's team must not really handle this casually, because fertilizer is now riddled with scandals and scarcity. 2 things: scandals and scarcity. The farmer does not know, do we even have the fertilizer? Mount Kenya, I told you, want us to tell the tales of Wanjiku. Mount Kenya is another agricultural hub. They use the fertilizer for tea, coffee, and of course the other farming that they do. In the 3 counties of Murang'a, Nyeri, and Kirinyaga, I think where the even rice farm is going on there, these are 3 counties that have also been slapped, that are also experiencing inadequacy of this fertilizer.
Despite the assurances from the government, the commodity has been disbursed to the depots countrywide. They have still not been able to get it since the NCPB depots and stores are still empty. The farmers now want the government to make good their promise and ensure the subsidized fertilizer is available to them in good time before the long rains.
Tuambiwa ni top. Na top ikikuja hatupatiwe top. Tunashindwa kama ni nini endelea. Kuna Kiswahili, baadaye tuambiwa ukweli, tunaficha fichwa ni kama kuna Kiswahili fulani. Sasa tunauliza hii message ya kupanda ya planting situmiwa na top. Baadaye kuchidanga hapa saa zote tukikuja hapa.
Nimetoka Mkoroaine, nimekunja sulikia mpango wa fertilizer ya kwenda kupanda kwa sababu niko na message ya subsidy ya fertilizer. Na hiyo fertilizer sijui kama ni vipi nitafanya kwa sababu hivi nitaondoka bila kupata hiyo fertilizer. Na ni message ya fertilizer gunia mifuko 2 na sikuipata. Napewa ahadi ya kesho, sijui kama nitaipata, manake watu wengine huku wamesema wanakuja kila siku wakiandikwa na hawajapata. So mimi ningetaka kujua kama itakuwaje kwa sababu nina njaa. Nimekuja saa 11 asubuhi na hivi saa hizi tunaelekea saa 8 wananchi. Sasa mimi ningetaka kujua kama hii fertilizer na ni ya kununua itakuwaje ndio nikija kesho niipate.
Ningetaka kuambia minister atuangalilie hali ya kitu kinaitwa kunja mapema kwa fertilizer.
These are areas that where the presidential team, the president's team, normally go around telling them in funerals and interdenominational prayer rallies that the government has subsidized fertilizer from 7,000 to 2,500. Now this is what is happening in ground. So the question here is, where is the fertilizer? Do we even have it in the first place? Who is saying the truth? Because on the other end, the political will go to a rally and speak about fertilizer is there. But when the farmer is going to the stores, the farmer is walking there, he's told the stores are empty. So what the ideal picture that I also need to paint here is, these young small-scale farmers are the ones that are crying. The large-scale farmer, there's someone, there is a notorious lorry that is driven to these stores. Maybe when message is sent today, at night, the famous notorious lorry is driven to those stores, clears all that stock, and when the farmer reports to the station, to the store tomorrow, he's told there is no fertilizer. So, even to complicate, what is complicating this situation even further is the fact that the cabinet secretary for agriculture, Mithika Linturi, while launching some coolers in some part somewhere in Rift Valley, I think that was Kericho sometime, they even mentioned that last financial year, they donated, 5 million bags. Now this year, the government even had a plan of doubling the bags of fertilizers to be the bags of subsidized fertilizers to farmers, so that they can boost. And you will listen to Waziri telling those farmers that if you are using, some amount in 1 acre, you will double the amount of fertilizer used there, so that you can get your produce can increase, your output can increase. That is what is happening, and that is the political. And if you want to know what we are saying is not just hearsay, in Kericho, 3 days ago, William Ruto just went to construct some road, to launch some road in Kapsowar. And in that event, he was addressing a rally. And while talking to the locals told him about the fertilizer. Wakasema haitoshi.
Ambaye ni PS wetu na ni mtu ya hapa Kericho. Nimemwambia mbolea isipopatikana hapa Kericho, mimi nitakutana na wewe. Kwa sababu tayari mimi nimepanga. Sawa sawa. Wananchi wanasema mbolea haitoshi bwana. Si ndio? Kwa hivyo ni ngangane na hao wanaume. Walete mbolea. Nyinyi mko tayari kuzalisha chakula ndio tufukuze njaa kabisa. Hiyo wewe umesikia nani? Tuko na watu wengi wanataka Sasa amesema mumpatie nafasi kidogo. Leo ama kesho kuna train inakuja, tutahakikisha kwamba kuna mbolea ya kutosha. Tumekubaliana? Kwa hivyo mimi,
and he had to, he decided there to, I think, then try to get information from the PS Ron, who was also in attendance. And here they said there is a consignment of fertilizer that is supposed to arrive in the country probably in the next 2 or 3 days to come, and that is what will help sort out the national our uproar about the fertilizer. So if you listen to this, you will understand that even the public is wary of this big lie about the fertilizer. That is why the question that still begs, where is the fertilizers? I want to look at this, and I want to also humbly ask you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. From where I am seated, if you give it a wider view, this fertilizer problem, if you give it a wider view, you'll understand something. There are 3 people hiding this fertilizer, or there are 3 people involved here. Number 1, there is that UDA connected big scale farmer. There is a farmer here. I don't know who is he, but there is a big farmer that is getting this fertilizer. It is coming as subsidized. So instead of it going to the small scale farmers who are supposed to produce, then someone, I want to see there is some, and it must be connected, because these things don't just happen in a vacuum. You must have deep connection to be able to drive your lorry through those NCPA stores and take fertilizer while farmers are queuing there. So there is that weak farmer. Who is this farmer? Who is the mysterious farmer that has bought or that has taken all the fertilizers in all the NCPA stores? Why? It can't be that it's a coincidence. In Kericho, people are crying. In Nakuru, people are crying. In Trans Nzoia, people are crying. In Nakuru, in Murang'a, Nyeri, and Kirinyaga, people are crying. It can't be. This must be one person. Now, but the other person I'm seeing here is another powerful man, entrepreneur, who probably is packaging the subsidized fertilizer and selling it at a retail price. And this is not far-fetched. Look at this video. This is Kakamega. Boni Khalwale walked to NCPB stores. He could not get the fertilizer. And while talking to the staff there, he was saying that there are some stores in Kakamega that are retailing fertilizers and connecting those stores to the county boss. That's not my word. So that is just an example of what is happening. How clever are these cartels that they can, they can overpower all these roadblocks and all these loopholes to sell this fertilizer? Because, do you know the coincidence in this? The private retailers are having fertilizer and they are selling at the other price. So someone could be in it. That is the second person selling it there. Then the third person involved in this scam is a man who is just playing with the supply-demand curve. Fertilizer is there, the one for the big man is there, the one for the farmer is there, but I need to create an artificial shortage so that farmers can become restless, give up, and go to buy from the retailers. On that, someone might benefit from the pricing. So someone simply doesn't just want to sell. And I think even the president said in those rallies, there are those who are selling. The big question here is, how is it difficult for the state to intercept this? Or, there's a third understanding, and I want to interpret this. Three probabilities, interpretations of this. Apart from those three people, then this is the other angle to it. Could it be that the subsidy program is just hot air and is dead on arrival? Did we bring I think the government needs to come clear and explain how many tons of subsidized fertilizer are actually in the country. Did we get it this time? I think someone need to do some research to find out whether Russia embassy here should tell us whether they gave us another free fertilizer. Or did we even double the amount as we said? Because there seems to be a program that is just dead on arrival. And the state officers there seems to be a program that is just dead on arrival. Maybe we did not even import this much of fertilizer. And what is happening here is that government is just staying in denial. But in real sense, there is no fertilizer. I'm seeing that probability. And this should be a big shocker even to the crusaders of bottom up, because the inadequacy that has riddled the subsidized fertilizer just shows that in operations, in paper, we have a bottom up. But subsidized fertilizer subsidy do not mirror the bottom up. Because who is complaining? The farmer. Wanjiku is complaining. But even in farming here, there is the large-scale farmer. There is the deep connected person. The deeply connected person is the person that is driving huge lorries there to carry the fertilizer. But Wanjiku down there is not getting. So that is why that this fertilizer subsidy, in real sense, it does not mirror the bottom-up economic model. It's simply not in paper. And lastly, I am seeing that third, the last observation I'm making here. William Ruto must dispatch a serious, competent, and ruthless team to intercept what, according to me, is a devised new supply chain for this fertilizer. I am not a prophet, but you need to ask yourself a question. What is the price of fertilizer in Tanzania and Uganda? Do they have the subsidy? Maybe not. Are the prices of fertilizer in Uganda better? Do they have better margins than in Kenya? Yes. William Ruto, from my small room seated here, I can tell you, there seems to be an alternative chain of fertilizer, and maybe it is being repackaged, not even to be sold in our stores. Maybe it has crossed the borders. Because in this country, people look for margins. I might be wrong in this, and I wish I'm wrong. But from where I'm seated, some people have found new margins beyond our borders. I wish you accept. Thank you. I want to read your feedback. What do you think, guys? Talk to us. Talk to us in our comment section. I want to read your feedback there. And thank you very much for supporting this channel, apart from political analysis, and also supporting our charity programs. Asanteni.